The story of a girl who saved a dying lion cub. Their reunion years later will leave you in awe. Have you ever heard of a woman living harmoniously with a pack of adult lions as her pets? You won't believe the unique bond these majestic beasts share with their human companion. Join us as we uncover the mystery behind this extraordinary relationship. Will the woman be able to maintain this unlikely friendship, or will it all come crashing down? Get ready to be amazed by the bond between this woman and her lion family, and find out how their relationship has stood the test of time. While most people dream of spending a relaxing afternoon in a peaceful courtyard, the woman in this story takes it to the next level by being surrounded by a pack of adult lions. These lions are not typical small pets. They're larger than the woman and exude an awe-inspiring presence. But how did this unlikely bond between the woman and the lions come to be? To understand their relationship, we have to go back in time and uncover the fascinating tale of their past. At the time, the woman's life was not really different from others. She loved traveling, being outside, and immersing herself in nature. As you would expect, she would have some truly unique, out-of-the-ordinary experiences during all of her travels because she had visited almost every corner of the globe in just a few years. But even though she saw some truly breathtaking views and had adventures in the mountains and by the sea, her trips seemed to be pretty uneventful and nothing major ever happened. However, the woman had no idea that a new chapter in her life was about to begin at the end of her current journey. This event was going to significantly alter the woman's entire life, but she had no clue at the time. She was just preparing to go out as she always does, getting into her rented Jeep to enjoy the outdoors while taking photos and videos. On previous trips, the woman had encountered various types of wildlife, including relatively peaceful herbivores and common animals such as rabbits, deer, and raccoons. The woman always made sure to maintain a safe distance when observing these creatures, recognizing that they were a part of nature and that their lives should not intersect their own. She understood that her own curiosity could potentially put them in unnecessary danger. As a result, over the years of her travels, the woman learned to tune out some of the sounds and animal calls that she encountered, always taking care to avoid danger. While the woman was relaxing in the wilderness, she suddenly heard a very distinct barking sound coming from her side. This sound was different from any she had ever heard before and didn't seem to be the kind of noise that a wild animal would make when it was alert or intimidated. Instead, it sounded more like a cub calling out for its mother, seeking help and care. Despite initially deciding to ignore the sound, the woman found herself gradually drawn to the cries of the poor little creature. She looked around and eventually found it, creeping through the grass near her, looking starving, covered in dust, and too tired to walk. This was a departure from the woman's previous experiences in the wild. Well, at the moment, she was hesitant to help the small animal because she knew that it was in great danger. However, she also understood that if she intervened, it was likely that the little one and its mother would never see each other again. After considering her options, the woman decided to return the following day, and if the animal was still there, she would take it with her. She brought some food and water from the car and slowly placed them next to the little creature, watching it as it ate. Afterward, she returned to the car and left. And she observed that the little animal is very much a local wildcat cub, small and golden in color and cute. Even though the woman was touched by the kitten and wanted to bring it home, she couldn't sleep all night, worrying about its safety and also thinking about why she had chosen to leave it behind. This was the first time she had ever encountered such a situation, so she didn't know how to handle it in a better way. Therefore, she rushed back to the same location the next day. She looked around anxiously and soon heard the familiar sound again. This time, however, the kitten came out on its own and ran to the woman's side. It seemed that it had completely trusted the woman after the previous day's events. It was now clear that its mother was not coming back, and leaving the kitten there would be equivalent to condemning it to death. So the woman took the kitten with her and decided to do her best to raise it properly. After returning home, the woman and the kitten formed a strong bond and became very close. As the kitten wanted to be with the woman all the time, lying in her arms and sleeping on her pillow, The woman also loved the kitten very much and did her best to ensure that it grew up smoothly. However, as the days passed, she noticed something that seemed a bit off. For a kitten, it was eating a lot more than usual and had an unusually large appetite. Along with all this eating, the kitten also quickly grew to a size that was larger than normal for a cat. Its face was still cute, but it looked different from the other kittens and seemed serious. After some time, the woman had a feeling that something was off about the kitten and decided to take it to a professional institution for examination. The doctor's words confirmed her suspicions, and she was both relieved and anxious to learn that the kitten was actually a male lion. Somehow, it had become separated from its pack and was rescued by the woman. While she was surprised by the revelation, she also felt sadness and guilt, knowing that she wouldn't be able to provide the lion with a life it deserved. It was born to be a king, not to be cooped up in a small room with her. Upon returning home, the woman began secretly making plans to sell her house and car, using all her savings to prepare for the lion cub's return to the wild. She was determined to do everything in her power to help the cub adapt to life in the wilderness again, even if it meant sacrificing all her possessions. Luckily, the people in charge of the process were also very dedicated and worked tirelessly to help the cub get back to its home. As the time for the lion's release approached, it became uncharacteristically resistant and refused to leave. The staff knew that the lion's reluctance was due to the presence of the woman, so they had to allow her to leave in order to persuade the lion to go. As she left, the woman was overcome with feelings of reluctance and shed tears, while the lion let out a sorrowful whimper. Eventually, it did depart. Even after the separation, the woman was able to stay informed about the lion's progress through a professional, which provided some solace. Gradually, the woman learned more about the lion cub's life as it grew into a king with his own family and offspring. Although she was terminally ill and knew that she wouldn't be able to see the lion in person again, simply hearing about its healthy development was enough for her. However, even this news grew to not be enough to fill the void in her heart, and she ultimately decided to use her remaining time to fly to Africa and visit the lion one last time. As the woman approached the lion's territory, she was filled with uncertainty and doubt. However, she never expected to be greeted by a group of lions, led by the Lion King. When the lion cub saw her, it immediately rushed over, and the two of them were overcome with emotion, tears streaming down their faces. At that moment, the woman made the decision to stay there and spend the rest of her life with the lion. The money that the woman had saved for her medical treatment became the foundation for her new home in the jungle. She built a simple but comfortable home where she could spend every day with her beloved family. To her surprise, it was the natural, warm, and relaxing environment of her new home that eventually helped her recover from her illness. A few years earlier, she had saved a lion cub in the jungle, and years later, that same cub saved her from the concrete jungle. There's no better example of the bond between humans and animals than this. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed this heartwarming tale of the reunion of a dying cub and a woman. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more stories. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.